On this day of adulthood, the cake has not yet been opened. The eldest sister slapped her over. What's wrong with Rang Rang Xiaobai? The second sister pointed to the door. Go out and calm down. Come back when you are sensible. I glanced at the cake in my hand, which was placed on the entrance cabinet. Picked up the luggage and left. They took the child on a trip and thought I was angry at home. When I returned 3 months later, I learned that I had signed a 10-year closed scientific research agreement. Communication is cut off. Life or death is unknown. They knelt and cried at the entrance of the institute for 3 days, but no one opened the door. Chapter 1. My name is Shen Yu. Today, I am 18 years old. A legal adult. I stood in front of the cake shop counter and took out 43 yuan and 60 cents from my pocket, which was just enough for a 6-inch cream cake. The clerk asked me if I wanted to write. I thought for a while. Just write happy birthday. Whose name should I write? My girlfriend's? Write my own. The clerk was stunned for a moment, then squeezed out the cream with a smile. I have been buying cakes for myself for 3 years. Started when I was 15. I was in the 2nd grade of junior high school when my parents passed away in a car accident. My eldest sister, Shen Ziyi, was 23 that year and had just established a foothold in a foreign company. The second sister, Shen Jiao, is 18 years old and still in her 1st year of college. Everyone said that these 2 sisters are capable and my brother will not suffer hardship if he follows them. I really didn't suffer. What I suffered was a dull loss. Carrying the cake to the door of the house before taking out the keys, I heard loud crying inside. A child howled. I frowned, opened the door, and went in. Sitting on the floor in the living room was a 4 or 5-year-old boy, his face covered with runny nose and tears. He was holding a model airplane on my bookshelf in his hand, and his wings had been broken off. That was what I did when I won the gold medal in the national physics competition. The eldest sister poked her head out from the kitchen. Siri was back? Come on, give your plane to Xiaobai to play with. I glanced at the child on the ground. Don't know. Whose child is this? The second sister turned over from the sofa and checked her mobile phone without raising her head. The parents of the eldest sister's colleague's child had an accident, and no one took care of it. The eldest sister was kind-hearted and brought him back. How many days will you bring it back? The eldest sister came out with a bowl of hot porridge and squatted down to feed the child without looking back. Maybe. We'll stay for a while. The details haven't been decided yet. Where to stay? Stay in your room first, then go to the living room and lay the floor. The cake bag in my hand shook. That's my room. Thesis materials due next week are also spread out on the desk, and in the drawer are the experimental notes I have saved over the past 3 years. My things are still in there. The eldest sister finally glanced at me. That look was all too familiar to me. It was the helpless look of, why are you so ignorant? It won't be over until you take it in. Xiao Bai is only 5 years old. He just lost his parents. You are an adult now, so let him go. Adult. Today I am only 18 years old, and I am an adult. I didn't say anything, and bent down to pick up the model airplane on the ground. The broken wings could no longer be put back together. When the child saw me picking it up, he cried even louder. The eldest sister stood up suddenly. Shen Yu, you scared him. I'll just pick something up. What are you picking up? Is a broken toy that important? The eldest sister raised her voice. Xiao, I just arrived at this house and is already scared. Can't you be a little patient? My hand holding the broken wing slowly tightened. That's not a broken toy. That's the model airplane I won the gold medal for. I polished it millimeter by millimeter on my kitchen table for 7 consecutive nights. It took 3 times for the glue to dry. I went out to buy it while riding a bicycle in the winter, and my hands were so cold that they cracked. But they don't know these things. In other words, they don't care. Sister, today it's me. Okay. The second sister finally sat up from the sofa and glanced at me. Don't blame everything on yourself. Children are so pitiful. Your brother is such a big man. Can you stop being so selfish? I have no brother. I am her brother. But she is used to it, using words like adult and grow up to shackle me so that she can ignore me as a matter of course. I took a deep breath and put the wreckage of the model aircraft on the coffee table. I just want to say that I have a lot of things and it takes time to pack them away. Tonight, dash. The words were not finished. The child was probably frightened by our voices. He suddenly rushed towards the elder sister and hit his head on the elder sister's hand holding the porridge. The porridge was spilled. Sprinkle it on the child's arms. The child screamed, and the elder sister hurriedly tried to comfort her. When she looked up, she saw me still standing there. I saw something burning in her eyes. Snap. A slap. It landed on the left side of my face. The whole living room was quiet. The child stopped crying and stared at me. There was a buzz in my head. It doesn't hurt very much, but very loud. The eldest sister's chest rose and fell, her hand still raised. It's all your fault. If you insist on making trouble here, you'll scare the children. Can't you go out for a while? I touched my face. A little hot. The second sister stood up and pushed me on the shoulder. Did you hear me? Go out and calm down. Figure out when to come back and don't get in the way here. I looked at my eldest sister. She was lowering her head to blow the child's arm, saying, It's okay. I didn't mean to do it. Elder brother. She called the child brother, didn't mean it. It's not that I'm an older brother. It was telling the child that Shinyu, this brother, didn't do it on purpose. I became the perpetrator to be appeased. In my own home, on my birthday, I said nothing. Turn around and walk to the entrance, putting the cake bag on the cabinet. The words "Happy Birthday" are printed on the bag with the unique wrinkles of plastic bags. Then I went into my room. No, it's the room that will soon belong to that strange child. I pulled out the old backpack that had been with me for 3 years from the cabinet. I packed a few changes of clothes, a laptop, and a stack of experimental manuscripts. There is also a brown paper envelope in the deepest part of the drawer. I folded and folded and folded the envelope over and over again until the corners became hairy. I stared at it for 5 seconds. Then stuff it into the bag. Zip it up, put on your bag, and walk out of the room. In the living room, the eldest sister was still coaxing the children, and the second sister was lying back on the sofa. No one is looking at me. I walked to the door to change my shoes. When I bent down, I glanced at the cake on the cabinet in the entrance hall. 6 inches cream with "Happy Birthday Shinyu" written on it. I stared at it for 2 seconds. Tie your shoelaces tightly and open the door. Then I'm leaving. Not loud. The eldest sister said, and didn't look back. The second sister didn't even say, The door closes behind you. The voice-activated light in the corridor was not on. I stood in the darkness and heard the eldest sister's voice coming from behind the door. Xiao Bai, be good. Come on, I will take you to my brother's room. From now on, that will be your room. I carried my bag and walked to the elevator. The voice-activated light finally turned on, and a pale light shone on my face. The left side of my face is still a little hot. On a physical level, it disappears after a while. 18th birthday. The gift he received was a slap in the face and an eviction order. Fine. At least it helped me make a decision that I had been hesitating about for 3 months. Chapter 2. I didn't go directly. It sounds cowardly to say it, but I did sit on the bench downstairs for an hour. It's not that I can't bear it. Was thinking about something. For example, there is still sugar garlic in the refrigerator that I pickled in the morning, and it needs to be soaked for another 3 days before it can be eaten. For example, the blazer that my eldest sister will wear on Friday is still hanging out on the balcony, and she never remembers to put away the clothes. For example, the second sister's allergy medicine expires next Thursday, and she has to go to the community hospital in advance to renew her prescription. For example, the gasket on the kitchen faucet came loose last month, causing water to drip at night. The two of them never cared about such a thing. An hour later, I got up and went home. I opened the door with the spare key. There was no one in the living room. The door to the bedroom, it turned out to be my bedroom, was closed, and the sound of the eldest sister telling the child a story could be heard from inside. The second sister's door was also closed, and there was the sound of a short video inside. No one noticed I was back. I took off my shoes and walked quietly into the kitchen. I checked the pickled sugar garlic in the refrigerator and tightened the bottle cap. I collected the eldest sister's coat on the balcony, folded it, and placed it on the chair outside her closet. For the kitchen faucet, I found a wrench and a new gasket from the toolbox and replaced it in 3 minutes. Tried it, it stopped dripping. Then I opened the refrigerator and marked the dishes for this week. I wrote the daily menu and recipes on sticky notes and posted them on the refrigerator door. Monday, tomatoes, eggs, rice cooker by appointment. Tuesday, spare ribs and winter melon soup. The ribs are on the second level of the freezer. Wednesday, I wrote 7. After hesitating for a moment, he wrote a few more pictures. When I reached the 21st chapter, I ran out of sticky notes. 3 weeks worth. I thought about it, and it should be enough. If they still can't cook after 3 weeks, they'll get takeout. Finally, I walked to the entrance and looked at the cake box on the cabinet. No one has touched it. The plastic bag above has already formed a thin layer of water mist. I picked it up, thought about it, and carried it away. Next to the trash can downstairs, I opened the box. "Happy Birthday Shinyu" is written on the cream. The fall was squeezed out by the clerk with pink jam, and it is slightly crooked. I stood and watched for 2 seconds. Then covered the cake box and placed it on the steps next to the trash can. Didn't throw it in. What if there are stray cats? I packed my bag and walked to the bus stop. The phone vibrated. It was a text message. Sent by Professor Chen. "Student Shinyu, the deadline for signing the agreement is the 30th of this month. Please consider it carefully. Today is the 28th. I put my phone back in my pocket and got on the last bus. There were very few people in the carriage, and a drunk middle-aged man was sitting in the last row, snoring. I leaned against the window and pulled the manila envelope out of the bag. Open. Inside is an agreement for the recruitment of oriented scientific research personnel in National Key Laboratories. Party A, National Institute of Advanced Materials. Project duration, 10 years. Project nature, fully enclosed. Communication terms. During the project, participants are not allowed to have any form of communication with outsiders. Breach of contract clause. You are not allowed to withdraw without justifiable reasons after signing. Otherwise, you will bear relevant legal liabilities. This agreement came to me 3 months ago. Professor Chun came to deliver it personally. Said that I was one of the 30 candidates in the country and ranked second in the comprehensive evaluation. Materials science is my life. When my dad was still alive, he was working in materials, and I grew up touching the metal samples in his laboratory. Professor Chen said that this project may change the country's pattern in the field of cutting-edge materials. I was so excited that my hands were shaking. But after taking the agreement and turning to the communication terms page, my hand stopped. He was not allowed to contact his family for 10 years. The first thought in my mind was not my future. Instead, who will feed the cat to the eldest sister when she is on a business trip? And I will take my second sister to have a physical examination next month because she faints from the injection. In the past 3 months, I took out this agreement and read it 11 times. Every time I fold it back and stuff it in the drawer. I spread it out on the bumpy table of the bus today, and the light tube on the roof flashed twice. The warmth of that slap is still on my face. I took out the pen in my pocket. Turned to the last page. Signature column. A place that I didn't dare to put pen to paper 3 months ago. Use your wrist to move the pen tip, 1 stroke at a time. Shen Yu. Very smooth. Nolkisset Bastion. The streetlights outside the window receded one by one. I folded the agreement, put it back in the envelope, and stuffed it back into my backpack. The bus announced the stop. We have arrived at the South Gate station of the Institute of Materials Science and Technology. I got up and got out of the car. A few lights in the Institute building were still on. 11:30 in the morning. The last half hour of my 18th year. The guard uncle checked my identity information and made a phone call. 5 minutes later, Professor Chen ran out of the building. Wear slippers. Hair is messed up from sleep. When he saw the envelope in my hand, his eyes suddenly lit up. Then it darkened again and looked me up and down. What's wrong with your face? It's okay. I handed the envelope over. I signed it. Professor Chen took it, opened it, glanced at it, confirmed the signature, and looked up at me. Have you thought about it? 10 years. Not 10 days. You can't regret it in the meantime. Think about it. He opened his mouth, probably wanting to ask me why I hesitated 3 months ago and suddenly came to sign this early this morning. But he didn't ask in the end. He just patted me on the shoulder. Let's go. I will arrange a dormitory for you first. You will move into the experimental area the day after tomorrow, and then all personal communication equipment will be handed over. I followed him upstairs. After walking a few steps, he looked back at the road outside the entrance of the institute. The streetlights stretched the shadows of the trees. The bus has already left. I turned back and followed Professor Chen's footsteps. The door closed behind him with a beep. Chapter 3. Move-in day is Saturday. Before I turned off my phone, I glanced at the message list. There is no news from my eldest sister. There is no second sister. The last conversation was 3 days ago. It was posted by the second sister in the family group. Take Xiaobai to Disneyland tomorrow. Don't wait for us to eat. Under that message, I replied, okay. No one replied to me. I wrote a few lines in the memo. Eldest sister, second sister. I went to a project and it was a long time, so I couldn't contact you. I asked Uncle Zhou to help with household matters. I paid the water and electricity bills 3 months in advance. There is a menu on the refrigerator. I put the refill form for allergy medicine in the medicine box. Take care of yourself. Then I exported this memo to a file and saved it on a USB flash drive. The USB flash drive was handed over to Uncle Zhou next door. Uncle Zhou was holding the USB flash drive with a complicated expression on his face. You just left like that? And you didn't even say anything to your sister in person? I shook my head. They don't care even if I tell you. Uncle Zhou sighed. He watched the 3 of us grow up, and after our parents left, he helped a lot. But there are some things that outsiders can't help. Those 2 sisters of yours are actually not bad-hearted. Uncle Zhou thought carefully about his words. I know. I interrupted him. They just think I'll always be there. Uncle Zhou said no more. I also gave him the spare key to my house and asked him to check if there were any problems with the water and electricity every week. Then I took out a small voice recorder from my backpack. Uncle Zhou, please keep this. If they come back and ask about me, I'll give this to them. Uncle Zhou took it and held it in his palm. Siryu. 10 years is too long. I smiled a little. It's okay. To do scientific research, someone has to do it. After bidding farewell to Uncle Zhou, I hailed a taxi on the side of the road and returned to the institute. The taxi driver was a talkative uncle. He talked about everything from the weather to prices, but I didn't say a word to him. He glanced at me from the rearview mirror. Young man, are you broken up in love? No. Then that expression looks like someone owes you 8 million. I turned to look out the window at the street signs flying by. I've been walking this road for 3 years. Go to school, get out of school, buy groceries, pick up my sisters from get off work. The next time I leave, it will be 10 years later. When I arrived at the entrance of the institute, I paid and got off the bus. The phone still has the last bit of power. I glanced at the screen. Still no news. I turned off my phone, put it in a Ziploc bag, and walked to the registration desk. Xinyu, number 0816. After verifying my identity, the staff handed me a work badge. Put your mobile phone, tablet, and all communication equipment in this box. I put the Ziploc bag inside. From now on, all contact with the outside world is officially cut off. Emergency situations will be coordinated and handled by the hospital. Clear. The staff closed the box and the lock clicked. Very soft voice. But I think that blow was much heavier than the slap from the eldest sister. I walked into the scientific research building with my work badge. The corridor is very long, and the fluorescent tubes are blindingly white. My shadow was stretched thin and long, walking silently on the smooth floor. The security door behind him slowly closed. Beep. From then on, I am no longer someone's brother. I'm just researcher number 0816. Chapter 4. 3 days later, the eldest sister posted a message on Moments. The accompanying picture is of a seaside. Xiao Bai is riding on an inflatable shark and laughing, while the second sister is making faces behind. The copy reads, "On the first day of traveling with your cub, you will be twice as happy." The comments in the comment area were all so loving. Your home is so warm, and Xiao Bai is so cute. No one asked, where's the younger brother? A week later, the second sister posted a photo in the family group, which was a group photo of the three of them at the playground. She at me, "Xinyu, are you still angry? We all went out to play, and you still stay at home and act like a coward." No reply. She muttered crazy to herself and continued to send 3 photos of Sha by eating ice cream. 2 weeks later, my eldest sister called me. "Shut down." She said to her second sister, "Who did your brother get this stubborn temper from?" The second sister rolled her eyes and said, "Don't worry about him. He's just like that. He'll get over it in 2 days. Dad also had the same temper back then. He could stay sulky for a week." The eldest sister thought for a while and sent a WeChat message. "Xiu, stop making trouble. Xiao Bai is very good. You will know when we get back and have some contact. You're a brother, and you must be responsible. I will come back on Friday to make braised pork for you." A red exclamation mark quickly appeared next to the message. Message delivery failed. The eldest sister frowned, thinking it was because the signal was poor and didn't take it seriously. They played for 3 months. From the seaside to the mountains, from amusement parks to ancient towns. Xiao Bai became a lot more cheerful from the initial crime. He called his eldest sister, and his second sister, second sister. The second sister once drank some wine, hugged Xiao Bai and said, "From now on, you will be our youngest son." The eldest sister smiled and agreed beside her. They had a great time. I posted more than 100 posts on Moments. None of them mentioned Xinyu. Even in the 6th week, the second sister cleared out the photo album on her phone and found a family photo taken during the Chinese New Year. I was standing at the very edge, holding a plate of freshly cooked fish in my hand, with my apron still on. Her finger paused on the delete key for a second. "Oh, let's keep it," she said to herself. "Wait until he calms down." Then she locked the screen and went to build blocks with Xiao Bai. The last day of the 3rd month, they took the high-speed train back. The second sister sent a WeChat message. "Remember to open the door when you get home." Red exclamation mark. "This person won't block me, right?" The second sister held up her phone to show it to the eldest sister. The eldest sister took it and tried it. Also an exclamation mark. "Call up." "Shut down." "Turn off the phone? Are you still angry after 3 months?" The eldest sister's eyebrows furrowed. The second sister smacked her lips. "Is something wrong?" The two looked at each other. The high-speed train will arrive in 1 hour. In that hour, the eldest sister made 17 phone calls. All shut down. Chapter 5. When I left the station, the eldest sister almost ran out. Take a taxi to the entrance of the community and take the elevator up to the 6th floor. Doorstep. The eldest sister's hands were shaking as she rummaged through her bag to find her keys. Open the door. The entrance light is on. It's one of those plug-in sensor night lights that I installed. The shoe cabinet is clean. My shoes are gone. The eldest sister quickly walked into the living room. Tidy. So neat. The coffee table has been wiped, the sofa cushions are neatly arranged, and the TV remote control is placed in a fixed position. But there was no breath of life in the air. There is no aftertaste of food, no steam from the kettle, no scent of laundry detergent. This home is like a model home. The second sister rushed into my room, now Xiao Bai's room. The bed was covered with fresh, clean sheets. The desk was cleared. The bookshelves were emptied. The closet was open and empty. Not even a hanger left. "Shenyu," the eldest sister shouted louder. No response. She walked quickly to the kitchen. There is a row of sticky notes on the refrigerator door. The first one says Monday, tomatoes and eggs. The last one reads Wednesday, stir-fried seasonal vegetables, vegetables on the fresh-keeping layer. 21. All in my handwriting. Neatly, one stroke at a time. The eldest sister reached out to peel off the sticky notes and paused when her fingers touched the paper. The edges of the paper have become slightly warped. Posted for a long time. 3 months. Where did he go? The eldest sister's voice became hoarse. The doorbell rang. It's Uncle Zhou. He probably heard the news of their return. Standing at the door, holding a spare key and a USB flash drive. Uncle Zhou looked at the two of them and at Xiao Bai, who was hiding behind the second sister. Then he sighed. Sit down and talk. In the living room, the eldest sister and the second sister were sitting on the sofa. Xiao Baiwo was playing with his fingers in the corner, not daring to make a sound. Uncle Zhou put the spare key on the coffee table and put the USB flash drive next to it. Xiaoyu gave these to me on the day he left. He paid the water and electricity bills in advance for 3 months, and they were due just last week. I helped pay for this month's bills. Let's go. Where? The second sister said anxiously. Where can a child who has just grown up go? Uncle Zhou looked at her with a heavy gaze. You know your brother won the gold medal in the national physics competition in his sophomore year of high school, right? The second sister was stunned for a moment. It seems like this is the case. Then you know that he was selected by the National Key Laboratory in his senior year of high school, right? This time the eldest sister and the second sister were stunned at the same time. What laboratory? The eldest sister frowned. Uncle Zhou smiled bitterly. See, you don't know. He paused and then continued. 3 months ago, a professor named Chin came to see him in person. He got an agreement. A directed scientific research project of the National Institute of Advanced Materials. 10-year cycle. Fully closed. After signing, all communications will be cut off and no one can contact the outside world. The living room was quiet. The eldest sister's lips moved, but she made no sound. The second sister's fingers were tightly grasping the corners of the sofa cushions. Uncle Zhou continued. He received this invitation 3 months ago. He never signed it. He told me that he couldn't let you go. When the words "can't let go" came out of Uncle Zhou's mouth, the eldest sister's shoulders shook violently. Then, the second sister's voice trembled. Why did he sign it later? Uncle Zhou glanced at her. The night he came to me with his luggage, I asked him what was wrong. He just smiled. There is a slap mark on the face. He said, it's okay, I figured it out. The eldest sister's face turned pale for a moment, so white that there is no trace of blood. Her lips trembled twice. He is because... He didn't say why. Uncle Zhou interrupted her, but he stayed at this house for more than an hour before leaving. He repaired the faucet, collected your clothes, and posted menus for 3 weeks on the refrigerator. He put your second sister's allergy medicine refill order in the medicine box. The second sister stood up suddenly and ran to the bathroom. The medicine box is on the second floor of the mirror cabinet. She opened it with trembling hands. The white prescription refill sheet was neatly folded and sandwiched between the medicine box and the lid. There is also a line of small words on it. Remember to renew 2 days in advance. There are fewer people on Thursday morning. It's my word. The second sister's knees weakened, and she squatted on the bathroom floor. The eldest sister's voice came from the living room, and her tone had completely changed. Uncle Zhou, where's the research institute? I'll go find him. Where is the address? Give me the address. Uncle Zhou shook his head. I asked. The address is confidential. Visitors are not allowed. Then I'll call Dash. All communications equipment was turned in when we moved in. No phones, no internet, nothing. The eldest sister was stunned. I can't describe that expression. It may be that you suddenly find that a door is closed and you don't have any key to open it. You don't even know where the door is. 10 years. The eldest sister murmured. How long is 10 years? He has just turned 18. 10 years later, he will be 28. Uncle Zhou didn't answer. The room was quiet for a long time, until Xiaobai came out from the corner and tugged on the eldest sister's clothes. Sister, where is my brother? The eldest sister looked down at the child. 5 years old, with a tough head and innocent eyes. She didn't speak at this moment. But if I had been there, I would have definitely seen something broken behind her eyes. Chapter 6. The eldest sister is a very active person. It took her 2 days to find the external liaison office of the National Institute of Advanced Materials. First phone call. Hello, I am a family member of researcher number 0816 Shinyu. May I ask? Please provide proof of your relationship. I am his biological sister. Please wait. Okay, verified. What do you need? I want to contact him, either by calling him or writing him a letter. Any method will do. The other side was quiet for 2 seconds. Sorry, according to Article 7 of the Project Confidentiality Agreement, participants are not allowed to have any form of communication with the outside world during the full closure period. This is a mandatory requirement for national-level projects. But I have recorded your request. However, I am currently unable to provide you with any contact channel. If there is an emergency, please use the hospital's emergency channel. What qualifies as an emergency? Severe injury or death of an immediate family member. The eldest sister's hand holding the phone was shaking. What about other than that? Other than that, there are no exceptions. I want to see him once. Just once. Feel sorry. Toot. The other party hung up. The eldest sister made the second call. Third pass. Fourth pass. On the fifth call, the tone of the other person's voice was already impatient. Ma'am, I understand your mood, but rules are rules. I suggest you. The eldest sister hung up the phone. The phone slipped from his hand and fell on the carpet. She sat motionless on the sofa, staring at the ceiling. The second sister listened from beginning to end. Her face is even uglier than that of the eldest sister. So there's nothing we can do? Nothing can be done. 10 years? 10 years? We can't even know whether he's alive or dead while he's in there. The eldest sister didn't answer. The second sister hit the dining table with her fist. Why? Why can a living person be imprisoned for 10 years with a broken agreement? He is only 18 years old. The eldest sister spoke slowly. He signed it himself. The second sister was stunned. He signed it himself. The eldest sister repeated. Her voice was muffled as if rising from the bottom of the water. No one forced him. It was him who packed up his things and took the bus. Midnight. After I slapped him. On his 18th birthday. These words fell one by one. Each word was like a stone thrown into the water. What splashed was not water splash, but something that could no longer be held in the eldest sister's eyes. Tears ran down her face and hit her knees. I beat him. The eldest sister's voice was trembling. I slapped my own brother. On his birthday. For an outsider, I've only known for 3 days. The second sister opened her mouth, wanting to say something. But she couldn't tell, because she also remembered it. Go out and calm down. These are the exact words she said that day. When will you be sensible, and when will you come back? He's back. After they all went to bed, he came back alone, fixed the faucet, collected the clothes, and wrote 21 sticky notes. Then left. No slamming doors. No crying. No questioning. He gave everything he could, and did everything he could. Like a deathbed arrangement. No. More calm than dying. Because dying people will still be surrounded by people crying. When he left, the whole world didn't know. Chapter 7. The days passed slowly after that. The eldest sister took a long leave. The first thing she did was search every corner of the house. In the second drawer of the entrance cabinet, she found a stack of utility bill payment receipts. 3 months. The amount was $200 more than usual. He also included the internet fee. On the top shelf of the kitchen spice rack, she found an unopened bottle of honey. There is a sticky note on the label. Sister has a bad throat. Please drink it with water. In the storage compartment next to the washing machine, she found 3 pairs of new insoles. One pair is size 37, a pair of size 38, one pair size 42. 37 belongs to my eldest sister. 38 belongs to the second sister. 42 is mine. My pair are still in the packaging. Brand new. Didn't have time to wear it. The eldest sister held the pair of insoles in her arms and squatted next to the washing machine for a long time. The second sister's discovery was even more heartbreaking. When she was looking through her old cell phone photo album, she found a screenshot. It's my transfer record. On the 15th of every month, transfer 1,500 yuan to Shenjiao. Note, living expenses. She zoomed in to see. Since I was 16. Every month. Not a single month has passed. Where did this money come from? The second sister murmured. She dug through my old book bag still in the storage room. There were several crumpled leaflets tucked into the side pockets of the school bag. We're looking for a weekend physics tutor with an hourly salary of 80 yuan. Teaching assistant in a math competition tutoring class with a daily salary of 150 yuan. Part-time job in laboratory data compilation, monthly payment is 1,200 yuan. The back of the flyer has the hours penciled. Every weekend is fully booked. A 16-year-old boy pays his sister 1,500 yuan a month for living expenses. The sisters thought it was the insurance money left by their parents and were being distributed on a monthly basis. No one ever asked where the money came from. The second sister pinched those flyers. Her knuckles turned white. She remembered. One time during her sophomore year in high school, she borrowed money from me to buy concert tickets. I said, I have no money. It's next month. What did she say then? What money do you want from a high school student? You don't want to fall in love, so why are you so interested? Later, I bought the concert ticket. Because she received my transfer that night. 800 yuan. She went to the concert. Showed the Jigong. Someone in the comment area asked, why isn't your brother with us? She replied, he doesn't like this. What she didn't know was that I ate steamed buns with pickled mustard for 20 days that month. Because the tutoring fee for next month has been paid in advance. The second sister now knows all these things. She was kneeling on the floor of the storage room, her hands on the ground, her shoulders shaking. Not crying. It's that suffocating feeling of swallowing all the breath into your stomach. There's something stuck in my throat that can't go up or come down. The eldest sister stood at the door of the storage room. She still held the bottle of honey in her hand. The two men looked at each other. There was no comfort in that look. There is only one common understanding. We pushed him away with our own hands. Not today. It started a long time ago. We regard his efforts as air. Treat his silence as good temper. Take his existence for granted. Until he was really gone. Only then did I realize that there were traces of him in every corner of this house. And we don't even know what cake he bought for his birthday. The eldest sister cooked dinner that night. She opened the refrigerator to look for ingredients. The food in the refrigerator has expired long ago. But the post-it note was still on the door. 21. Neatly. The handwriting on the first one is still very clear. The eldest sister's finger traced the first picture to the last one. When her fingertips touched the lower edge of the last page, she saw that there was still half a line of words there. It was written in pencil and was very light, so you can't see it unless you look carefully. If you see this, it means you are back. Just come back. The eldest sister's knees couldn't hold up anymore. She slowly squatted down while holding onto the refrigerator door, squatting all the way down and resting her forehead on the refrigerator door. His shoulders twitched. The refrigerator compressor hums. There seemed to be a little choking in the voice. Very light, but in the empty kitchen, it was clear. Chapter 8. On the third day, the eldest sister quit her job at a foreign company. Why? HR asked. There's something going on at home. What's the matter? Can you tell me something? Or you can take a long leave dash. No need. The eldest sister put the work card on the table. I have more important things to do. What did she do? She went to graduate school. No more phone calls. It's me. Stand at the gate. The security guard stopped her and said, this is a controlled area and irrelevant personnel are not allowed to approach. My brother is in there. Please show me your pass. I didn't. I just wanted to wait for him here. The security guard glanced at her and probably thought there was something wrong with this person. Ma'am, this is a national scientific research institution, not the entrance to a kindergarten. You will be waiting for anyone here. The eldest sister didn't leave. She bought a folding chair at the convenience store across from the institute. Sat down. On the first day, the security guard came out to persuade me 3 times. The next day, the security guard was too lazy to persuade me. On the third day, the security guard handed her a bottle of water. How old is your brother? 18. The security guard sighed. A child of 18 will come out 28 when he enters the store. Who can help but feel sad? The eldest sister didn't answer. She just sat. Look at the gray iron door. The door is thick, painted military green, and has rust stains on it. She didn't know what was behind the door. She didn't know what her brother was doing inside. Did he have enough to eat? Are you sick? Are you homesick? She knows nothing. The second sister's approach is different. She turns on her computer every night. Log into an email address. It's the emergency contact email I left on a sticky note, the Institute's unified external email. She knew I couldn't see it, but she still writes. The first email. Shinyu, are you there? Can you come back? My sister is wrong. The second letter. Today Xiaobai asked you when you would come back. I don't know how to answer him. The third letter. I learned how to make tomatoes and eggs today. I made them according to the menu posted. They were fried. The fourth letter. The eldest sister is still sitting in front of the institute. She has lost a lot of weight. The fifth letter. Only 3 words. Sorry. These emails never received a reply. There is no bounce prompt from the system. They just sit quietly in the outbox. 1 letter, 2 letters, 3 letters. On the 30th letter, the second sister changed the Chinyu at the beginning to brother. She had never called me that before. In her mouth, I always mean Chinyu or hey. Now she typed the word brother. There is a long pause after each stroke. Stare at those 2 words on the screen. It seems that if you watch it for a long time, it can penetrate the network cable and be transmitted to the research institute hundreds of kilometers away. Reach my ears. In the 50-second email, she wrote, I found the record of your transfer to me in high school. 1,500 per month, starting when you were 16. How many part-time jobs did you have at that time? How many days have you eaten steamed buns and pickled mustard? I said you were picky. I asked you, how much money do you need for a high school student? Am I human? The last line was deleted, typed, and deleted. The last thing left was, if I could do it all over again, I would want that concert ticket. I want you. Chapter 9. The eldest sister sat at the entrance of the institute for 2 whole months. From summer to autumn. 3 folding chairs were replaced. The owner of the convenience store knew her and gave her an extra tea egg every day for free. Here we go again. Your brother is doing research in there. He can't get out. Why don't you wait 10 years to die here? The eldest sister smiled. I can't wait 10 years. I just want to be closer to him. One afternoon, the wind picked up. The sycamore leaves were scraped from the trees and swirled on the ground. The eldest sister wrapped her coat tightly and was about to continue sitting when a middle-aged man in a suit walked out of a side door of the institute. Walked straight towards her. Miss Shenzi. The eldest sister stood up suddenly. It's me. The man handed over a business card. My surname is Chun, and I am the person in charge of this project. The eldest sister's breathing suddenly became rapid. How is he? Is he okay? He dash. Professor Chen raised his hand to interrupt her. He's fine. He's in good health and his research is going well. The eldest sister's eyes suddenly turned red. Can I see him? Just once. 5 minutes will do. No, 1 minute will do. I'll just take a look. No. Professor Chen's tone was not serious, but firm. I have no authority to change the terms of the agreement. He signed the informed consent when he moved in. This is not something I can personally decide. The eldest sister's fingers turned white while holding the business card. Professor Chen looked at her for a while and sighed. I came to you because he said something to me when he moved in. The eldest sister looked up. He said, if my sister comes to see me, tell her she doesn't have to wait. The eldest sister's lips were trembling. Professor Chen continued. He also said, her back hurts after sitting for a long time, so don't let her sit for too long. The eldest sister stood there. The wind blew her hair into a mess. She said nothing, but the tears fell one after another. Professor Chen turned to leave. After taking 2 steps, he stopped. Looking back at her, Ms. Shunzi, your brother is the most outstanding researcher I have ever taught, In the past 20 years, there is no one else. The night he entered the project, after signing the agreement, I asked him if he had anything to explain. Do you know what he said? The eldest sister shook her head. He said, "My sister likes to drink honey water, but she always forgets. If it's convenient, please help me remind her." The first sentence of the 10-year closure agreement is not about the project content, nor the accommodation conditions. Let me remind a sister to drink honey water. The eldest sister's knees finally couldn't hold up any longer. She squatted on the ground and covered her face with her hands. Shoulders rise and fall violently. The wind blew the sycamore leaves to her feet. She cried silently, but the passers-by walking around stopped. Professor Chen stood for a while and said softly, "Go home. Take care of yourself. He will come back in 10 years. Then he turned around and walked back behind the gray iron door. The door closed with a buzz. The eldest sister squatted outside the iron gate for a long time. After a long time, the convenience